Hey everybody, it's Friday Farm Vlog, and it's a beautiful day here on the farm. It got really chilly last night. When I got up this morning, it was 34 degrees. Thankfully though, everyone did well for the first frost here in Massachusetts in October. So I'm happy that our chicks are fully feathered and had no issue with the cold. But I do have some sad news to share that unfortunately, while T-Bone, our rooster, seemed to be recovering really well with his bumblefoot, unfortunately he passed. And I'm not sure what the cause of death was. He did seem to be getting better with the bumblefoot infection. The foot seemed to be healing well, and he was enjoying coming out into the sunshine for his dates with his chicken ladies. But unfortunately, I did find him in his kennel passed on. He was living in a kennel in my garage. He had been eating and drinking well, but he was an older rooster. I don't know his exact age because I did acquire him as an adult from another farm, along with his brother Clifford. Now, we did lose his brother Clifford this summer to what looked like a heart attack, the way that he seized. So I'm not sure if T-Bone suffered the same fate, but we have had T-Bone here on our farm, I believe around 5 years, and he was an adult when we got him, so I would guess he was probably 6.5, 7 years old. And he had been notably slowing down and had a lot of trouble with fertility this spring and summer. So I was concerned that my time with him was going to be limited, but he was a phenomenal rooster. We're so lucky to have him protecting our flock on this farm and bringing so many chicks into this world that have such great personalities from him. Just a really sweet tempered rooster, and he's going to be greatly missed. And not having a top rooster here on the farm definitely is a concern for me because I do have a lot of hens and young chicks. We do have cockerels and roosters here on the farm, but our roosters that are full grown are bantams, meaning miniature chickens. And unfortunately, while they could try to protect our hens, I don't know that they would be all that successful against most predators. And then aside from our micro roosters, we have our cockerels, which are our male chicks that we brought in this spring. And while they are growing quickly, they are not mature roosters. So we did have a large turkey vulture fly overhead, and I saw it. However, none of the roosters or cockerels saw it, and it was quite large. So my concern is that there is not a head rooster that sounds the alarm when there is a bird of prey or potentially other predator. Now I'm hoping that somebody will step into that role. Maybe this little rooster here. Look at his tiny little rooster tail feathers. I mean, he is young. He's trying to turn into an adult rooster, but we're not there yet. So time will tell who is going to step into that role. But that being said, I do have to make some decisions as to which of the rooster chicks are going to stay, because at this time I have too many roosters and I do need to move them along because they're going to get to an age where they're going to start fighting, which for this breed I've noticed is right around 5.5 to 6 months of age. So we're getting really close to that point. So got some big chicken decisions to make. So I have been watching and observing them just to see who has the ladies' attention, but also has that protective instinct that I need a head rooster to have, as well as a good temperament towards myself, my husband, and the kids, because I do want to use them for breeding in the spring for more chicks to be brought into this world, but they have to have a good temperament as well as be healthy and have a good conformation. So that is something to be looking for. Now, it has been almost 2 weeks since we lost T-Bone. I'm a little behind on getting videos out to you guys, but in that time, I have been not only grieving his loss, but also watching these roosters and trying to see who's going to be essentially the next bachelor here on the farm for our hens. And I have been looking at the chicks that we brought in from a hatchery that have really nice qualities, and I want to bring in different genetics. However, my eye keeps catching one of the chicks that I have been raising up from our genetics, from our incubator, and I am contemplating potentially keeping him because it's T-Bone's genetics, and he was such a great rooster, and so I'm thinking about keeping one of our roosters, because I would love Clifford and T-Bone, who were brothers. I would love their genetics to continue on in our flocks and in our future chicks. So I don't know how many roosters I should keep. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. I've had success with having the two main roosters, Clifford and T-Bone. That seemed to work well, that they grew up together as siblings. They got along well, and they both had their roles, with Clifford being the top rooster. T-Bone was the beta, but he did step into that alpha role once Clifford passed, so he was well trained and knew what to do. He did great with that. So I definitely want to keep at least 2 roosters, but I'm not opposed to 3. I just don't know if 3 would work out. I guess the goats aren't joining us today. They're over eating their hay, but they're all doing well. You beautiful girl. Would you like to tell me which rooster you like? I need some help with some decision making. I also feel like if I can reduce the amount of roosters on the farm, then maybe there'll be more of an opportunity for a rooster to step up into that position. So that's where I'm at. So let me know what you think. I appreciate any advice on the subject. And thank you for hanging out with us today. And if you haven't started your farm yet, what are you waiting for? Get your farm on.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want a farm? A wicked awesome farm? Watch this channel to learn what to do. We love to farm and we'll show you. Yeah, welcome to our show.